Hello everyone, this is Jag. In this video I'll cover everything you need to know on how to grow garlic, and I'll be covering the entire life cycle of growing garlic from planting the clove to harvesting the bulb, and I'll be documenting the entire 9 months of growing garlic, which is the same amount of time it takes for a human baby to develop. Interesting. Well, let's get started. You can buy seed garlic or just use organic garlic bulbs from grocery stores. Do not use conventional garlic bulbs from grocery stores because they might be sprayed with growth suppressant chemicals. Step number 1, the season. I live in zone 8B and I plant my garlic in early fall. If you live in a hotter climate, you can plant your garlic in mid-fall or even in late fall. If you live in a colder region, you can even plant your garlic in spring. However, it's preferred to plant garlic in fall. Just make sure you plant your garlic at least 8 weeks before the first frost. Step number 2, get a big garlic bulb and break it into cloves. Only use the big cloves for planting. Do not use smaller cloves in the middle of the bulb. However, as an experiment, I'm going to plant some of these smaller cloves to see if there's any size difference in the bulbs produced by smaller cloves versus the bigger cloves. I have separated the cloves into 3 different piles. I have a pile of really big cloves which I will be planting. I have medium-sized cloves which I will be using in cooking, and I have small cloves which I will also be planting as an experiment. Usually I will only plant these fat cloves of garlic, but for this video and for experiment purposes as well, I will also be planting these small cloves of garlic. I want to know if these small cloves also produce big garlic bulbs as well, so we'll find out. Step number 3, prepare a loose soil with lots of compost. Garlic is a root vegetable and prefers loose soil to grow. If your soil lacks nutrients, add organic fertilizer derived from bone meal and fish meal right into your soil. I use a lot of compost that I make myself along with worm casting, so I don't have any need to add additional fertilizer. Check out the video I made on how to make your own hot compost as well. Step number 4, the depth and spacing of garlic. To figure out the depth and spacing, all you need is a thumb and a hand. The garlic should be planted about a thumb's length deep and a hand's length apart. For planting, I use a wood stick instead of my thumb. Punch holes in the soil about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart. I will be planting the big garlic cloves in the front 3 rows and the smaller garlic cloves in the back 2 rows. Step number 5, plant the flat end down and the pointy end up. You might be tempted to plant garlic too close to each other. Planting garlic too close won't give as much yield because garlic won't grow as big. Choose an area that receives full sun for planting garlic. All the big garlic bulbs have been planted in the front, and I've also planted the smaller garlic in the back. So after planting, just water your garlic bed. It's not really a step. Every plant needs water. Water is life. There can be life without the sun, but there's no life without the water. Think about the creatures in the caves and the deep ocean. 2 weeks after planting, the garlic sprouts, and the sprouts are about 2 to 4 inches tall. I added lots of grass clippings all around the garlic plants. In fall, there is a lot of surplus of dead leaves. Some of them naturally fall into my garden beds. I also added quite a bit of dead leaves all around my garlic plants as well. Both grass clippings and dead leaves are an excellent source of mulching around the plants. This process suppresses weeds from growing, provides protection to the plants from the cold of winter, adds nutrients to the soil, and retains moisture in the soil. After another 2 weeks, which is 1 month since planting, garlic plants are thriving in loose soil containing compost, including a layer of dead leaves and grass clippings on top. 2 months since planting, the garlic is 1 foot tall. Garlic continues to thrive in the rich organic soil and mulch. 3 months since planting, garlic is about 1.5 feet tall, and the stalks begin to thicken up. This is how tall garlic will grow at most. After this point, the stems of garlic will only thicken up and the garlic bulb begins to form under the soil. Garlic does not do well below 20 degrees Fahrenheit or -6 degrees Celsius. If your temperature gets this low, protect the garlic plants with a cover. The mulch of grass clippings and dead leaves is decomposing and adding more nutrients to the soil. After 5 months since planting, the stalks of garlic have thickened up quite a bit and filled up the entire raised bed. The mulch of dead leaves and grass clippings is almost all decomposed. Garlic is one of the easiest crops to grow. Garlic can be grown in containers as well. Every gardener should grow garlic in their backyard or in containers. I like growing my garlic in raised beds because raised beds provide loose soil and proper drainage. Raised beds are perfect for growing root vegetables such as garlic, carrots, turnips, radish, and beets. Water every 3 to 5 days. However, we have been getting a lot of rain here in California over the winter, and I have not watered my plants since the first planting. Cut off any flower buds that form on garlic. This will only suck the energy from the bulb and may decrease the size of the bulb. Garlic has no pest problems. Garlic, in fact, is a pest repellent. The only disease that might affect garlic is white rot fungus. If this is the case, do not plant garlic or onions in the same spot as last year. After 7 months, the garlic plants are mighty thick and strong. I am so eager to know how big garlic bulbs are forming under the soil. Planted in fall, garlic will be ready to harvest by June or July, which is about 8 to 9 months after planting. At this point, we were not receiving any more rain, so I started to water my garlic plants every 3 to 5 days. 8 to 9 months after planting, the garlic plants begin to turn yellow. At this point, stop watering the garlic plants altogether. And now it's time to harvest the garlic. I'll be harvesting the garlic in the front separately from the garlic in the back because I planted bigger cloves in the front and smaller cloves in the back. I want to see if the smaller cloves produce smaller bulbs or the same size of bulbs as the bigger cloves. I gently pull the garlic to harvest because my soil is soft. If your soil is a bit tough, use a fork to lift the garlic. Check out this first garlic of the season. This is so exciting. I continued to pull all of my garlic bulbs and they were absolutely gorgeous. I pulled on them a little and they come right out. Wow, check this one out. These garlic bulbs are really big. It's amazing how nature turns one clove of garlic into a whole bulb. Wow, this is amazing. This is a bounty full of garlic and some of those bulbs are huge. Look at some of the sizes of these bulbs. Wow, this is amazing. Look at these bulbs. I continued to harvest all of my garlic bulbs into 2 separate piles for front and the back. Garlic in the back rows grown from smaller cloves does not seem to have formed big bulbs. While I pulled a couple of medium-sized and one big bulb, most of the other bulbs were significantly smaller as compared to the bulbs grown from larger cloves. So this is how you grow lots of garlic. Look at all of this garlic. This is absolutely amazing. This is beautiful. And this garlic is from first few rows. And it seems like garlic grown from bigger cloves seems to have produced bigger bulbs. Garlic produced from smaller cloves, which is at the back, actually have produced smaller cloves. But I'll let you test it out further. And now I'm just going to let it dry and dry it out, and then I can store it on my shelf for a few months. So this is going to be good eating for coming months. Well, here's the bounty of all of garlic. All of this is grown in 4 foot by 3 foot area in my raised bed. After harvesting, clean the garlic bulbs by removing dirt and let the garlic bulbs dry. Store the garlic bulbs in cool, dark and dry place for a few weeks. Garlic can be stored for 3 to 5 months in these conditions. After a couple of weeks, the garlic bulbs have dried and they are ready to be used in cooking. Save the larger bulbs for planting in next season and be self-sufficient. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned how to grow lots of garlic, and I'll see you in another video.